is the 5th of November. I am reading Graham Greene's The Comedians. The comedians, they met on a cargo ship for to Port-au-Prince in Haiti. This plays in Haiti. I'm now in the third part of this book, and it was chapter 3, and I just finished Roman 1. And Mr. Smith, who was a presidential candidate, is no longer in Haiti. Mr. Jones, who calls himself Major Jones, is in trouble. And Mr. Brown, he writes this story, and he's going to help Mr. Jones. Martha greeted me with a glass of whiskey in her hand. She was wearing a gold linen dress, and her shoulders were bare. She said, "Louis is out. I was taking a drink to Jones." "I'd take it up for you," I said. "He'll need it." "You haven't come for him?" she asked. "Oh, yes, I have. The rain is just beginning. We'll have to give it a little while longer until the guards take shelter." "What earthly use will he be out there?" "A great deal, if all he says is true. It only needed one man in Cuba." "How often have I heard that? It's a parrot phrase. I'm sick of it. This is not Cuba. It will be easier for you and me when he's gone." "Is that all you think about?" "Yes, I suppose it is." She had a small bruise just below the shoulder bone. Trying to make the question sound like a joke, I said, "What have you been doing to yourself?" "What do you mean?" "That bruise." I touched it with my finger. "Oh, that. I don't know. I bruise easily." "At gin rummy?" She put the glass down and turned her back. She said, "Give yourself a drink. You will need it too." I said, as I poured myself a whiskey, "I'll be back on Wednesday by 1 if I leave okay at dawn. Will you come up to the hotel? Angel will be at school." "Perhaps. Let's wait and see." "We haven't been together for several days," I added. "There'll be no gin rummy to take you home early." She turned back to me, and I saw she was crying. "What's the matter?" I asked. "I told you I bruise easily." "What have I said?" "Fear has a strange effect. It releases adrenaline into the blood. It makes a man wet his trousers. In me, it injected a desire to hurt." I said, "You seem upset at losing Jones." "Why shouldn't I be?" she said. "You think you're lonely up there at the Trianon? Well, I'm lonely here. I'm lonely with Louis, silent in a twin bed. I'm lonely with Angel, doing his interminable sums for him when he comes back from school. Yes, I've been happy having Jones here, hearing people laugh at his bad jokes, playing gin rummy with him. Yes, I'll miss him. I'll miss him till it hurts. How I miss him. More than you missed me when I went to New York. You were coming back, at least you said you were. I'm not sure how now whether you ever did." I took the 2 glasses of whiskey and went upstairs. On the landing I realized I didn't know which was Jones' room. I called softly so that the servants shouldn't hear me. "Jones? Jones?" "I'm here." I pushed the door open and went in. He sat on his bed, fully dressed. He had even put on his gumboots. "I heard your voice," he said, "down below. Tonight's the night, old man." "Yes, you'd better drink this." "I can do with it." He gave a sour grimace. "I've got a bottle in the car." He said, "I've done my packing. Louis has lent me a kit bag." He ran over the items on his fingers to check them. Change of shoes, change of pants, 2 pairs of socks, change of shirt. Oh, and the cocktail shaker. That's for luck. You see, it was given me. He stopped abruptly. Perhaps he remembered he had told me the truth of that story. "You don't seem to anticipate a long campaign," I said to him to help him out. "I mustn't carry more than my men. Give me time and I'll have our surplus supplies organized." For the first time he sounded professional, and I wondered whether perhaps I had maligned him You can help us there, old man, when I've got a courier system working properly. Let's think of the next few hours. We have to get through them. I have a lot to thank you for. Again, his words surprised me. It's a big chance for me, isn't it? Of course, I'm scared to hell. There's no denying that. We sat in silence side by side, drinking our whiskies, listening to the thunder which shook the roof. I had been so certain Jones would resist when the moment came. I felt a little at a loss what to do next. And it was Jones who took command. We'd better get cracking if we are to be out of here before the storm's over. I'll say goodbye, if you'll excuse me, to my lovely hostess. When he came back, he had a trace of lipstick at the corner of his mouth, an awkward embrace on the mouth, or an awkward embrace on the cheek. It was hard to tell which. He said, "The police are safe in the kitchen drinking rum. We'd better be off." Martha unbolted the front door for us. "You go first," I said to Jones, trying to re-establish command. "Stoop down below the windscreen if you can." We were both wet through the moment after we emerged. I turned to say goodbye to Martha, but even then I couldn't resist the question. "Are you still crying?" "No," she said, "it's all the rain." And I could see she spoke the truth. The rain ran down her face as it ran down the wall behind her. "What are you waiting for?" "Don't I rate a kiss as much as Jones?" I said, and she put her mouth against my cheek. I could feel the listless indifference of the embrace. I said accusingly, "I'm running a bit of a danger too." "But I don't like your motive," she said. It was as though somebody I hated spoke from my mouth before I could silence him. "Have you slept with Jones?" I regretted the question even before the last word was said. If the heavy peal of thunder which followed had drowned it, I would have been content. I would never have repeated it. She stood flat against the door as though she were facing a firing squad, and I thought for some reason of her father before his execution. Had he flung a defiance at his judges from the scaffold? Had he worn an expression of anger and disdain? "You've been asking me that for weeks," she said, "every time I've seen you." "All right then, the answer is yes, yes. That's what you want me to say, isn't it? Yes, I've slept with Jones. The worst thing was, I only half believed her." This is the end of Roman 2, and I read Roman 3 soon.